Well, fancy seeing you folk again. I suppose if you're willing to kick up your heels, listen to another story, I could spin another tale for you. Coalbank ain't exactly a sleepy little town. Bad incident with the train proved that well enough. But for the most part, life in Coalbank just happens day to day. Folk get up in the morning, do their job, settle in for a nice drink and a meal, go to bed at night. Except there are some folk that don't follow that routine. Put a gun in any man's hands, you make him the great equalizer. You make him capable of great power, and if you don't have the responsibility to go with it, well, it takes a lot to wash away the blood out here. Now that ain't every kind of folk out in Coalbank, mind. Most people pick up a pistol, get their own sense of a code, and uphold it best they can. Not out of any particular religious sense of obligation, mind you. Gods don't come to Coalbank. So the saying goes anyway. Whether or not you believe it, well, I've been rambling for a while. Let's get into the actual story. Strap in and saddle up, y'all. Here's a quick little tale about murder. Hello and welcome to Tales from the Trail, where we and we also, I cannot stress this enough, You stepped on my line, you little fucker.
We also can't seem to get timing right.
Well, to be fair, through the way I have my stuff routed through Discord, there's a quick delay between when I say something and when you guys hear it.
I stand corrected.
Okay, I thought there was a delay on my part. That's why I said it a little early, so it'd be on time with you.
And yet, it was not. F.
You fucked up.
I
You
did.
fucked up.
All right.
Press F to fuck.
Joining me today, we have my posse of JoJo.
If you talk about me one more time, you're gonna have a barrel in your mouth and a bullet in your throat.
We've got
That
Scott.
was a threat.
It's the prime of existence.
It sure is. I'm not sure anyone's gonna get that joke.
No, they are not, and I don't care.
Then-
We've got Phil.
Man, Jimmy cried corn and I'm starting to care.
And we've got Gentleman Walrus.
What does a cowboy say to another cowboy to identify that he is in fact a cowboy?
What is that, Walrus?
U-Haul? And I am officially going to be excommunicated from life. Thank you.
There we go. Have a nice day. Goodbye.
I haven't heard the word excommunicated in so long, and you used it so correctly.
I like that word. It's a good one.
It's a good word.
Yeah. So, welcome. This is the third week of Camp Streamix, the second time Tales from the Trail is happening, and hopefully the last time, because Fallen Empires is going to come back and have actual plot happen. Woo! Yeah. Which leads me into
I
two...
honestly don't hope. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, which leads me into two quick things. First off, that bar at the top, that is Team Fallen's bit incentive. Give us bits and fill up that bar like it already has been filled 5 times over. And we draw from the deck of magic things, which makes chaos happen.
Yahi.
The second thing, related to giving us bits, technically, Camp Streamix is a competition between the various teams. Team Fallen, which is us, the objectively best team. Team Murder, which streams on Sundays. Team Annihilation, which streams on Fridays, and I think is setting up for even more streams on random days. And the Rainbow Roadies, or the Rainbow Raiders, or whatever they're calling themselves this week. That being said, even though it's a competition, I want everyone to please be sportsmanlike. There is no need to roughhouse, to insult, to be rude to any of the other teams. We stream tabletop games, guys. We're here to have fun. We want this to be a fun event. Please, guys.
Be nice, or you'll
No,
go
no.
in the box.
I was
I don't
just
know if you
about
ever-
to say, you'll
Don't
go
know
in the
if- I don't know if any of you guys have ever been to camp before, but if you punch another camper in the face, you get put in the box. That's how it works in camp.
I was forced to go onto the obstacle course first, then I was sent to the box.
Yeah. I'm seeing in the chat we're not made of stuff like that, Alex. I'm not joking around here, guys. Really, this has been an issue this season, and last season. For the love of God, guys, be polite. Don't make me come down there.
Papa will spank.
I will
and it will
spank.
not be pleasant.
Because here's the thing, we may make salty comments or jokes from time to time, but this is all in good fun. So,
Yeah.
you know.
We're not actually trying to be mean, and if we do actually hurt someone's feelings, we are very apologetic, and we actually don't mean it, and we're very sorry. So, do not be mean.
Yeah.
At the end of the
And
day,
be-
this is all in support of Internet Remix overall.
It's all supposed to
so.
be good fun. It's not actually supposed to be like, competition! It's not supposed to be like that.
It's not that.
Yeah,
All right.
so...
Now,
So-
without further ado,
and making sure that's in the actual video for YouTube so that YouTube sees it too, let's go right on back to Tales from the Trail.
Guitar solo like in the West.
So, when last we left our heroes, they did a counter heist to a train heist and helped blow up a train before it blew up a town. Right before it blew up a town. That was a thing. It's been a couple of weeks since then, and compared to an exploding train, life has been way quieter. So, we're gonna check in with the crew here, see what everyone has been doing. Snap, have you been behaving yourself?
No.
Excellent, excellent, excellent.
I have a quick important question.
Yes.
Did the deputy pay me like he promised?
doubt it.
You know,
Oh, there will be some issues today.
a lot of the government's payment came to, you know what? Here's a pat on the back for not blowing up the town. We gotta spend the rest of this money actually repairing the train tracks and the train itself, because that's a lot of damage.
Understandable.
That's a lot of damage.
All right. Ermir, what have you been doing in the meantime?
Whilst, I gotta ask, before we continue, what, has any sort of form of recognition been passed down to the people who stopped that train? Have we all been deputized or something like that? Or have we been, sort of just called heroes and left it at that?
Well, I mean, if they offered deputy roles to those of you who wanted them, with a very strange and very long looks being given to Snap upon offering him a deputy badge. But for the sake of background features, Tarkin is the only one who, actually has contacts within the law enforcement department.
I see. With that in mind, Ermir sort of politely declined the offer of deputization and has sort of been staying in town, keeping an eye out for possible jobs that she can get her teeth stuck into, but has mostly been sort of keeping her head down. She's quiet and she doesn't want to. It seems like she doesn't really want to talk to anybody in the town that much.
Okay. All right. Darius, there's been a little bit more work leading towards mining jobs, which is what you started out doing, since, train-based jobs are kind of on the downturn, with the train having been blown up. How busy would you say you were?
More work that Darius can get done. He never really wanted the deputy position to begin with. As long as he can just get the work done and get a decent pay to support the community, that's all he really needs. Don't need no funny business going along.
All right.
That's pretty boring.
Says Snap, the actual bandit. And Tarkin, have any interesting jobs come your way in between, the blowing up of the train and today, or has it been mostly quiet in town? Tarkin.
Tarkin. Deputy.
Tarkin.
I
Phil.
guess Tarkin is.
Mr.
Did Phil
Swift.
Is Phil fucking dead?
Fuck.
Is Phil Swift?
Oh, fuck.
That's a lot of
Phil
damage.
Swift.
That's a lot of
That's
damage.
a lot of
That's a
damage.
lot of damage.
Oh, fuck. That's a lot of
That
damage.
is a lot of damage.
There he is.
Sorry about that. Didn't that crap down.
Okay.
Oh no!
What I missed.
So, Tarkin, what would you say has been the most interesting thing you've been doing as a deputy in between the train blowing up and today?
Probably the most interesting thing is I found out where Snap likes to hide out, and I found a vantage point where I can shoot his toes when he's not looking. It's funny to watch him squirm.
So you're the one who's been fucking up my household, huh?
He don't know yet.
Who's the asshole?
I knew that. More to say, I don't know that. Ha!
Alright, so, angered at the constant assault on your toes, Snap, that has attracted you back into town to see what sort of fiend would go after a poor innocent man's toes like that.
I'm just gonna go into town for another saloon drop by.
Nice.
Because it's been a hot minute since I had a good cold drink, huh?
It has indeed, and there's no better place to get a drink than Saloon. It still doesn't have a name, it's just Saloon.
Just saloon.
I love non-brand saloon.
I love bootleg saloon.
Saloon would definitely win the new poll we have on Twitter and YouTube as to what bar is the best. Just Saloon, you know.
I like you know what? Saloon is the best choice, followed slowly by bar.
Alright. So, over at Saloon, it's a pretty busy night. A lot of people are talking about some new defenses people are setting up against thieves and bandits. Anyone who's interested in learning more, make a perception check to listen in.
Spicy.
I think Ermir is going to listen in just off the chance. One of those defenses is get somebody on a wall and look out from wall and then shoot from wall. So I'm gonna roll perception.
I want to know so I can plan against them.
Not interested.
Tarkin, all this talk about stopping thieves and bandits kind of blends together after a while, and it's a saloon. It's Saloon, not just a saloon, it's Saloon. You kind of tune out some of the riffraff after a while. Snap, you're listening in. You don't really hear a lot of the specifics, but you do hear a name over and over again as the man who's kind of behind it, Niles Bailey. Ermir, as you listen in, you hear more talk about Niles Bailey and how his idea of keeping out thieves and bandits is inspired by the fact that it was Kenku who led the assault on the train and tried to blow it up. He wanted to enchant some scarecrows to try and act as watchmen and alarm systems.
Interesting. Does it sound like they've made any progress?
You don't know. All the talk is talking about Niles Bailey as if he's a person everyone knows, and you don't know who it is. You're from out of town.
Do I recognize his name?
Make a history check.
Nah, he just sounds like some old bloke I never heard of.
You feel like you really should, but for whatever reason, you're just like,
I don't care.
Like, of all people, you think that you really should, but you just don't. I'm looking at the notes, and I'm looking at the 5, and I'm like, oh, shit.
I'll worry about it another time. I'm here to have a good time, not a worrying time.
And by sheer coincidence, the 4 of you end up at the same table again.
I see the deputy walk in, and I'm just... Ugh. Not again.
Darius
I-
walks
I
in and
kinda-
notices Snap and just thinks to himself, "Oh, hell, not again."
I love you, Scott. I hope you know that. I kind of just like move to the farthest table that's unoccupied and kind of tip my hat down again. So where he doesn't see my face. So where none of them see my face.
Yep. What other goblin would possibly be in saloon?
I know, right?
Alex, how many goblins live in Coalport?
Ooh.
Live in Coalbank? None. A lot of goblin settlements are outside of town.
I see. So
Why do you have to
I'm
do
gonna-
me dirty like this?
I'm gonna make I think Ermir would make the cunning deduction that this is in fact the Snap Man.
Surprisingly enough, it might in fact be Snap.
Ermir sort of looks at Snap, who's trying to hide very well, and then looks around the rest of the bar as if to look around to see if, who's causing this reaction, and presumably would spot, the others, I should say, Darius and Tarkin, as they enter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'm going to say, actually, because we have an absurd number of bits donated for the sake of card drawing time,
Oh boy.
it's card drawing time!
For whom exactly?
You have enough today for 10 cards. I just want to
Holy
stress
shit.
that.
Yeah, that's gonna be insane. Let's start with Walrus,
Ooh, I like that.
because he
I
was the
like
last
that,
one to
man.
talk.
Wally.
It's gonna be a card that spawns a horse on top of Ermir.
Watch it.
Turns Ermir into a horse.
It is the locksmith.
Chains him up to a horse.
Don't do that to my lady. She deserves better.
The locksmith, you get a key that is one use only, but will open any door or chest.
Yay, skeleton keys.
It's pretty cool.
All right. I mean, fitting that it goes to the rogue, so yay, there you go.
Hey.
I'll
You didn't
definitely
get a
use
whole
it.
lot of pay in the last job, but I'm going to say for narrative purposes, someone gave you that as thank you for going to trap and shoot this animal that was causing me problems. Have a key.
Perfect.
Alex, how high is the sun in the sky?
It's sunset.
Oh, thank God. Okay.
What? Is it important that it be some other time?
No, I'm just looking at my character flaws. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Oh God.
Scott's character just is really concerned as to whether or not it's sunrise or sunset.
Surprise, Darius was actually a skull.
The whole time.
The whole time.
Yeah.
I knew it.
So this is where S has been.
He's been in the fucking West. Can't believe it.
Yeah. Surprise! I'm actually a Minotaur.
I guess the body of a fucking minute. I can't.
You never saw it coming.
I haven't heard that voice since.
Iron King.
Anyways.
Oh my god.
Anyway. Alright, so is everyone just going to be awkwardly staring at each other?
I mean, I'm
I
gonna
vote
do my
yes.
best to try and avoid contact with everybody, cause fuck that noise. You kidding me? One of them
Tarkin
hates
is
my
going-
guts, and the others, I don't care about them.
Tarkin is going to very nonchalantly aim his gun at Snap's feet. Not firing it yet. We're just gonna aim it at her.
Does Darius see this?
Make a perception check, Darius.
Okay.
Like one of those, he's resting his gun on the table, but it's very obviously pointing at
Oh, yeah.
the little goblin.
Oh yeah, you definitely see this.
Darius puts his hat down and just, like, pretends to rest, but just has this little smirk on his face.
Do I notice this?
Make a perception check.
Ooh,
That's a
Yeah.
persuasion
the
check.
perfect scenario. Oh,
You fail to persuade the gun.
The perfect scenario.
Perfect. You don't see a thing.
Never see it coming.
Never see it coming.
So while... Is there anyone next to me, like a group of people or something?
Yeah, it's a pretty crowded saloon. There are definitely people next to you.
I'm gonna take a quick look on what's on their table.
Okay.
See if they have anything that I could swipe real quick.
All right.
So do I do...
Another perception check.
Okay.
Looks like they've got a couple of mugs of ale, a couple of silver pieces plopped down. Looks like they're playing cards, and the more you look around the table, it's a bunch of kenku that you're sitting next to.
Oh.
Oh boy.
Oh, what about the other table?
The other table, that one is more empty. Just got it's actually got a hobgoblin sitting at it with several overturned mugs of ale next to him.
Does he have one that's full?
He looks to be staring at the bar, waiting for something.
Is there anything that I could swipe real quick?
You could definitely try to swipe one of the empty mugs.
I don't want one of the empty mugs. I want something that's valuable to me. I'll try and swipe something from the kenku.
Okay.
Actually, no. I'm gonna try and swipe a bottle from the bar.
All right. Snap, you get up off the table, you duck through the crowds of people, and try to sidle behind the bar, make a stealth check.
Yep.
And what do I have to do to take this opportunity to shoot Snap in the foot?
Okay. Make an attack roll.
Hold on 1 second, where is it? Dope. Whoa, alrighty then.
Okay. Well, Snap, you managed to duck out no problem. Tarkin, you just kind of errantly fiddle with the trigger and BLAM! Shoot something into the wall, and the entire tavern goes silent before screaming and stampeding out.
Excellent.
Snap looks and sees who pulled the trigger. And I was like, wait, how far away was the blast to me?
It was pretty close.
Did it leave a
Talking-
hole in the wall?
Tarkin's rifle is smoking really, really badly.
Tarkin is currently giving Snap the dirtiest stink eye.
Snap slowly turns his head toward Tarkin. It's like, howdy! And then he's just gonna suddenly jump through the hole in the wall.
All right.
Just gonna. How small is he to jump through a bullet hole?
Make an acrobatics check. You can't exactly jump through a bullet hole, Snap, but you can duck and weave pretty easily through a crowd to run out of saloon.
That is exactly what I do.
Alright.
I
There
duck
he
and weave and
goes.
go exactly underneath Tarkin's table, kick him in the shin, and then leave.
Without making eye contact, Darius just sort of directs to the sheriff saying, "Aren't you going to grab him?"
Nah.
Alright.
Sick of that little shit.
A couple of
No,
seconds
what's the
later, Ermir, Darius, and Tarkin, you hear a bunch of hoofbeats approaching. Snap, you see several horses rushing through the streets, getting to a stop in front of Saloon. I'm going to need you to make a stealth check with disadvantage, Snap.
Yay! Oh, come on.
That ain't look good.
You just kind of stand there and hope for the best. As several other deputies dismount their horses, one of them looks down at Snap, looks at his buddies, nods to one, points over at you, and escorts 3 others inside.
Points to me?
Points to you, yes.
I'm just gonna finger guns at them and kind of slide away into the next alley.
You finger gun as best you can, but as you extend your guns as fingers, in one swift movement, the elven deputy approaching you whips out a pair of handcuffs. Clack, clack, they're on you immediately.
Yes!
Clack, clack.
Oh man, I haven't felt cold steel on my wrists in 10 weeks.
All right.
That's a surprisingly long time.
The rest
I know,
of you,
that's the worst thing.
the 3 deputies enter the saloon, look over at the scene, see that it's just the 3 of you sitting there, and Tarkin with his smoking gun. The leader of the deputies gives a quick nod. Tarkin?
Deputy.
I'm going to have you draw a card, Phil, because that's the only way this can get even more awkward.
Delicious. I was thinking of, like, downing an entire pint of whiskey or some shit, but no, this is even better. I don't know
Oh,
what that is.
I
but
think
I
that's
like
the
it.
betrayal.
The
That
betrayal.
is the betrayal.
Oh,
Oh boy!
All right.
yes, we're doing this.
I can think of several ways this can go.
So can I.
I'm going to say that story-wise, what you just did does count as the betrayal, because it just moved the plot forward by fucking over all the rest of the party.
Yay.
Yay. All right. The deputy nods again. Now, y'all know you can't be just shooting willy-nilly inside a saloon, right? Causes a ruckus, causes panic. We don't want any of that here in town.
Was attempting to apprehend a criminal, sir.
There are...
Mir's
Criminal! I see no criminal here!
Mir's kind of like scoffs at that,
Right.
like audibly.
Darius is still just sitting in the chair. He hasn't moved once.
Right. Well, there are better ways to do that. Better, more peaceful ways to do that. And y'all have plenty of time to think of it when you spend a night in a cell nursing off whatever hangover you're gonna get.
Ermir sort of looks fucking a little bit like quizzical at this and raises her hands up and says, "Hold on, I just..."
As you raise your hands up, clack, clack, immediately handcuffs go over them, put on by
you have
another
got to be
deputy.
kidding me.
Alright, real question, deputy. Real quick question. Why are they getting arrested? I understand why the deputy was being arrested because he's being a little shit-faced, but
Are they not
why
known
are the
associates
others
of the
being
man?
arrested?
Are they not known associates of this man, or was the fact that all 4 of you happened to be taking care of the same train just a coincidence?
Very coincidental, in my opinion.
Huh. Right.
Tarkin stands up with like a big old sway and what's the one stumbling across. You know, he's very drunk and swaying and slurring and shit. Just fucking, alright, dips on cell 3. And he just looks like really done, eyes closed, hands out.
Clack, clack, more handcuffs on you.
Thank you.
Darius looks at the scene and is just like, alright, get it over with.
Alright. The clack, clack handcuffs go on Darius. And
Clack, clack.
the deputies lead the 4 of you over to jail. Because most of you cooperated, they're fairly gentle about it. They just like point you in the right direction rather than shoving you everywhere.
Oh, I don't cooperate. Are you kidding me?
Well, in
I
that
try
case,
every opportunity.
one of the deputies just kind of like hoists you up, ties you to the horse, and just drags you along.
Am I hanging off of the horse, or am I like dragging on the ground?
You're dragging behind it.
Yes.
I like to imagine that they just like completely hog-tied Snap to an actual leg of the horse as the
Where are
horse
we-
just runs.
Where are we riding through, fellas? Cactus County. Oh no, says Snap.
Oh no, says.
Oh god, please no.
This I gotta see.
You know, one day I will. Ow!
All right.
Oh, their dumpy cactus is the worst.
The 4 of you eventually get thrown into some cells. Darius and Ermir, you're sharing a cell. Not also a Snell, but also a cell. Snap and Tarkin, you're sharing cell 3.
Ugh.
And the deputies say, we'll come get y'all in the morning.
Thank you. I love you.
Clam! The door slams shut as you say this, Snap.
Well, this ain't the most uncomfortable place I've been spending my time. I can't help but wonder why in the hay we're spending our time here in the first place.
You know, you could be asked. I've been asking myself that question the whole time I was walking up to these cells, and I still haven't found a rational solution that's making me, feel any better about this.
Tarkin lying down on the very, very well-used bed in cell 3, and with his hat tipped over his face, says, "Easy, boys. This is the comfiest bed in the whole West."
Yeah, maybe for a drunken hooligan like yourself, deputy.
There are about to be 2 drunken hooligans in here, and he whips out a stolen, expensive bottle of whiskey.
Hush up over there. I don't need to hear any more of your word.
You don't have to. Just plug your ears, cowboy.
Easier said than done. Sort of looks up at his horns.
I would need to roll a strength check in order to attempt to punch Snap in the testicles and retrieve his whiskey, right?
That
if
is
you do
correct.
that, you will fail miserably.
Will this work as well as it did with me?
No, you
Nope.
just kind of flail your arm angrily in that direction, Tarkin.
Damn it.
Oh, you want some? Sorry, I'm not sharing. Especially not with you. I might share with the lady, though. She's been nice to me.
Nice is not the word for it. I've just been indignant about... This is the thing. Enemy... You ever heard the expression, enemy of mine, enemy is my friend?
No.
Well, the expression it means that you dislike someone that has also done me an unkindness. So we are mutual in that, and we share a bond. Speaking of which, Tarkin, I understand you don't like this little man at the best of times, but it's very...
Whoa, that's burns.
What's the best word to describe when you do something that is very much out of line as to what you are supposed to do with your job?
Unintelligible.
It's definitely an unword. I know the word. Unprofessional. That's the word. And to be honest, Tarkin, I do not like unprofessionalism. So, you mind explaining yourself to me?
Long story short, I'm very sad.
And why does this sadness mean shooting, if I may ask?
Puts a smile on my face.
Presumably because you think that you're shooting at something worth shooting at, right?
Oh, I'm worth shooting at. Have you ever seen my bounty?
I haven't, actually.
Yeah, all 50 pennies of them.
No.
Oh, come on. I'm worth more than that.
You know what? Once I'm out of here, I'm going to look at that bounty board and I'm going to figure that out for myself. But, gotta say, there are, I feel like, better ways to just get rid of the blues than, firing off.
Y'all got an idea?
Well, you seem to have the drinking down, Pat. That's sometimes a solution. But considering that your drinking did the whole thinking in this situation, I don't think we'll go with that next time. You play cards? Anything like that?
Sometimes.
Well, there you go.
Alright, guess we're playing cards. Alex, just before I make a bullshit thingy going on here, since I am a deputy, and I spend a lot of time canonically in these cells, apparently now.
Apparently.
Do I know the ins and outs of these cells, specifically the weak points, so we can escape?
I was gonna ask that question, actually.
Yeah, great.
Because
If you had 10 pounds of dynamite and a battering ram, you could go in from the other... Oh, wait. No. They took your stuff.
Oh, man. Is there any way I could try and escape?
If you had 10
They
pounds of
took your
dynamite and a
stuff.
battering ram.
I mean, we
who's got
technically have a
butter?
battering ram.
I mean, out of character, we have the battering ram. Unfortunately, we don't have the dynamite.
I mean, I've got an explosive personality, but
What up?
Get out.
Alright. That being said, your
Okay.
cells are close enough that if you just call out what you have, you can, in fact, play cards and pass the night that way.
I'm going to get shit-faced while you guys are boring.
Great, excellent. As time passes, Darius, draw a card!
Oh boy, what fun!
Just keep drawing cards until something gets us out of this predicament.
What is that?
I
I
did not
see.
plan for this.
I see.
What is it?
Midwife.
Oh, no! Oh,
From in your cell, Darius, you hear the sound of a tiny...
no! Oh, no!
What
The midwife is the worst card.
The
ever.
midwife is the most uncomfortable card.
second worst, I'd say. What? in the-
Congratulations. It's a boy.
It's a boy.
You turn around and there is a calf in your cell.
I don't have a
Like-
child. I don't have a wife.
You know, it's my experience that this little planet that we live on occasionally likes to play cruel pranks on us. So, just consider it one of those. Just make sure you don't call him that when he grows up. He probably won't take kindly to it.
Now, question. When you say calf, do you mean like a baby cow or a baby minotaur?
Baby
About
cow.
to say.
Just a baby cow, because that's funnier.
Oh, okay, good. I mean, you know.
As good as it can be.
Well, I ain't sure how your kind feels about this, but I'm hungry.
That's supposed to.
We
And what
Okay,
is that
alright,
supposed to mean?
Real quick, I'm not a good guy. That was horrible.
very also unpractical. You remember, we can't easily start a fire in this place. How the hell are we going to cook this thing?
I can.
We
We
okay.
ain't gonna start a fire. We ain't gonna
Yeah.
cook.
Come on, we good if we want to eat.
Okay. How about we just let this calf do its business, just let it exist, and then, I don't know, Darius, you can go and take this on a gun, sell him off to you tomorrow morning, and we continue to not, get ourselves in a worse position than we currently are.
Does the calf look like it can fit between the bars?
It is a very tiny calf. It looks like it could if you push it hard enough.
Also, gasp, a fucking newborn.
I am going to roll persuasion to
my
persuasion this
God.
cow to grab the key.
So
You'll have
you're
to roll
doing that
apple
scene from
handling.
Pirates of the Caribbean where the guys stick their
That
hands out and look.
exact one.
Yeah.
That exact one, yes.
The cow, not being able to speak English, has no idea what the fuck you're doing.
Dario, seeing just that everyone is fucking insane, is just going to hold this calf, and just sort of cradle it. Because he doesn't know what else to do with it.
Aww.
All right.
Do I need to do anything with that, or...
No, that's just something you automatically do.
Okay.
Yeah. And as you compete with incredibly insane ideas on what to do with the calf, all of you hear this strange, ethereal fiddle music coming through the walls, kind of floating through the air. The sound of this fiddle going. That general melody over and over again.
Tarkin
Sam's name
perks
is-
up, sits up, and looks a little bit happier than he did before. Because he thinks you know what's about to happen. Because who else plays the fiddle in the West?
I have no fucking clue. I'm just
Yeah, me either.
The
I'm
answer
blacked
is
out.
Oh, no,
drunk.
we don't.
the answer is a lot. So
Wait, there's a lot of fiddle players in the West?
yeah, there's a lot of fiddle players in the West.
Oh, I gotta Google fiddle real quick, because I think I may be confusing it with a different instrument.
Violin and fiddles are completely different.
Listen,
Fiddles are more twangy, I guess is the word for it.
Oh, those. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, those are incredibly common.
Yeah,
Um,
never mind. I was assuming it was my benefactor. I would.
Again, I'm gonna have to ask you questions about that fella when we get out of this at some point. But, does this song sound familiar to Ermir?
Yeah, and same for talking.
Make a religion check.
Oh
Ooh.
boy, the one thing that I do not have anything in.
No one does. Tarkin, speaking of your particular patron, he's talked about the use of music in dark rituals. Not his, though. He didn't specify beyond that, but that's not him.
This ain't mine, boys. He starts looking a bit more concerned. Been happy before.
Do I recognize it at all? Roll religion?
Roll religion.
Okie dokie. 0 religion. What the fuck?
Oh, wow, nice.
Oh,
Of all the things!
Impressive.
Snap, you've actually kind of heard this tune before. Living
Oh,
out in
Jesus.
the outskirts of the frontier and spending more time away from Coalbank than most people would, you recognize this as a tune used by some sort of cult. You never got close enough to hear their actual name, but you do know that the cult likes playing it when doing some dark magic stuff.
Oh, Jesus.
Little man, you seem to have lost your green color and it's been replaced with a more, well, it doesn't look like a nice shade. What is wrong?
if I'm being honest, it rather suits him.
Flattering that you're looking at my face. My
I mean-
mug. So, the song that's playing, I've heard it before. Don't take kindly to it because it's actually a religious thing. Some sort of cult song that they play when they're trying to do nasty.
Everybody knows there ain't any gods around here. Y'all are gonna have to be more specific.
That's all I got for you. Take it or leave it. Sorry,
You
Chief.
say, nasty to describe what they do? What does that entail?
Just some bad shit. I don't know.
You are being, as usual, a bastion of knowledge and wit.
You are very welcome.
Listen, this is all good, but if y'all don't got anything else to say about this, then your word ain't worth shit.
You're the ones who asked me, folks.
Can we tell which direction the fiddle's coming from?
You can vaguely tell that it's louder the more north you go in the cell, but you don't have a lot of room to maneuver, so that's as best you can.
Can I use my giant, ugly ears to see where it's coming from?
Make a perception check.
Ooh,
At least you
ooh.
recognize they're ugly.
Yeah, judging by your intimate knowledge of the Doppler effect, you recognize that it's coming from a couple miles north, around where, if your knowledge of maps is correct, there's a big fancy estate by some kind of guy who invested in the railroads. You would wager that the music is coming from there.
I relay this information.
Is there a window that looks over that direction?
Yes, there is. And now that the information is relayed, I'm going to have everyone else make history checks to see if they can identify what the hell that is.
Oh boy.
This is something that...
Finally, I failed!
Yeah. This might be
Finally,
something that Ermir
failure.
knows.
This might be. No, it's not.
All right. Tarkin, you don't care. You've been thinking about how to get the hell out of here. Darius, you're the only one that puts the pieces together, and you're like, wait, I've done a lot of work for people who invest in stuff. Isn't that Niles Bailey's estate?
Oh. Niles Bailey. I recognize that name from somewhere. Can't quite pinpoint from where.
Isn't he the guy who's trying to... I don't remember.
He is trying to. Now, I think I heard this pretty clearly while I was in the bar until a certain someone decided to fire a gun. He's trying to make a sort of army of scarecrows to protect the town, like alive ones. It's kind of weird, but
Live scarecrows.
Yeah,
Huh.
that's what I heard.
And who'd you hear that from?
It wasn't from anyone specific. It was just a couple of folks gawking about stuff, and gossiping. But in my experience, this sort of gossip can be, it can be very useful, and sometimes it actually holds true. And considering that we're hearing some, what did you say, dark, evil cultist stuff happening outside.
Cultist music, spells, whatever. I don't know.
And as you're talking about all this, a very tired-looking deputy walks over your direction, looks over at the four of you in your cells, and is like, y'all want out of here?
Yeah, I would like that a lot, actually.
Well, considering most of the rest of the force is asleep at this hour, or is me, and y'all seem to have at least more of an inkling as to what the hell that racket is, I figure you go up to old Bailey's estate, investigate what the shit's going on, come on back, we scrub this little incident from your records, you're all good to go. Sound like a deal?
Not too much to worry about. Can I get paid for it at least?
Fuck
Because
no.
someone didn't pay. He kind of just like furrows his eyebrows and like.
Y'all seen the deputy's budget around here and shit?
Darius
Fair point.
over Snap's head. Y'all have to excuse him. He's an idiot.
Y'all have to excuse him. He's a numbskull.
So you're basically saying we get free, we check what that is, you make sure that this doesn't appear on our records.
That's about the size of it.
I want to keep my record clean, so to speak, so that when somebody looks at me and says, hey, can I hire you? They don't see got in a random bar fight in a jail and says, oh, you don't look like the person for the job. So, yeah, I'm game.
All right.
You know we don't keep records, right?
You know what's a better record than anything in this town? Word of mouth, and it travels fast.
She's right, you know.
I guess I won't be needing this. And he dissipates the packed gun that he summoned like a minute ago while you guys weren't paying attention, that he was going to use to blow off the lock. But then Alex came in with the more...
sensible solution.
God, that's like the perfect scenario.
All right. Right, well, y'all get on out there, come back real quick now, here?
And on the off chance that we don't come back real quick now, you hear? What you gonna
But
do?
we're not their problem no more.
Well, we know where to find you.
Very. That's very touching. Oh well. I suppose better late than never.
Tarkin goes to grab his shit, pats the deputy on his shoulder, says, all right, Lawrence, keep my bed empty.
You know it. All right.
I wink at the other deputy and kind of make a face at him.
Lawrence does not approve.
I run away.
All right. The four of you grab your shit and start hiking towards Niles' estate. And on the way there, Snap, draw a card!
Yes! Yes, sir, I will. One card, please. I don't like this at all.
Oh.
I believe that is the eclipse. Let me actually enlarge it and double check.
Yay.
That is indeed the eclipse.
How many of us have dark vision?
Me.
I think I do.
Okay, you all
I think I
have
do
dark
too.
vision, but boom, a sphere of magical darkness appears around Snap. Now, Tarkin, you've been gifted with Devil's Sight, which enhances dark vision and lets you see through magical darkness. Snap, you haven't, so you just keep on walking and thump right into a wall.
Ugh, suddenly just get dark.
You know, that thing about the universe playing cruel tricks, sometimes they are very funny tricks as well.
It's only funny because it happened to me, whatever.
Absolutely.
Well, it's not that it just happened to you. To be honest, if I saw the bull just randomly walk into a house, I would find that funny because of the sound effects. I'd assuredly follow.
I'd bust a gut. I hate this guy.
Excuse
I
me.
hate everything.
I don't hate money and booze. That's about it.
Guys,
You know what, I
anyone
respect
see my hat?
How about we politely and gently make our way around this wall of just complete black? Mr. Tarkin, can you see anything?
Yeah. Tarkin reaches his hand into the blackness and just grabs Snap by an ear.
Hey, put me down, Dud. That hurts.
Better than that, grabs him by one of the rings on his ear
Ooh, ow!
and yankety yanks him out.
High-pitched girly screams.
Excellent. Eventually, you manage to get into something resembling an actual walking formation. And you arrive at Niles Bailey's estate. You get to the outer part of the estate first. There's a bridge going over a river directly ahead of you. On your left, there appears to be several shacks and fields set up as a little farm. 2 scarecrows flank the bridge, and there is a big old burly dude plowing the fields on your right, despite the fact that it is the middle of the damn night. And in fact, to visualize this, we've got a map.
Ooh.
We actually have a map. Holy crap.
Excitement.
A map, holy crap, indeed.
I don't like those scarecrows.
Yeah, I'm eyeing.
I recognize those scarecrows, though it was from another stream, to be fair, so they're probably not the same thing. Never mind.
I kind of lean over to Emir and just kind of like stand on my tippy toes to get to her ear. Didn't you mention something about scarecrows coming alive or something?
I did. And there's
Scarecrow?
scarecrows. Yeah, I was about to say, that's,
Should I kill him?
No.
And he kind of slowly raises up his pistol.
Oh, no. Okay,
Y'all
here's the
ain't
thing.
gonna kill them.
He kind of like...
The big burly man looks up at the noise, looks over, raises an eyebrow. Well, y'all ain't the only weird set of robbers I seen.
Robbers?
robbers.
Did you say?
Yeah,
We're not? Oh, we're not! That's right! We're not robbers!
And for once in your life, you ain't. When you say robbers, sir, what exactly do you mean?
it's just that Bailey's had a couple of issues with him lately. Fella's trying to break into the estate, steal his gold, steal his booze, steal blueprints for train tracks too, which is odd, because last I figured, bandits don't really have much use for those.
No, in my experience, they really don't. That is odd. How long ago was that they came along? Do you remember?
Last time around was, last night, around the same time as tonight.
You haven't seen anything apart from us enter the premises, have you?
I've been out here the whole time.
I'd reckon that's a no, then.
He looks over at you, Darius. Slight flash of recognition in his eyes. Didn't I see you before working down in the mines a couple days back?
It's been a while. Thought I'd just take a look at the handiwork.
Well, suppose it's good to see you again. Miners like us, we gotta stick together. Let me introduce myself to your friends. Name's Lurth Flintcutter. And Darius, you recognize this man. He is pretty legendary in the mining field. They say he once cleared out an entire shaft of several pounds of silver just by flooding it and also getting rid of a little Morlock problem that was down there.
Well, ain't that fancy? Wouldn't take a figure like you just showing his face out there now.
Well,
Looks like you got a fanboy.
a lot of places don't think they can afford me, so farming is the work that pays. Even if Niles up there don't exactly pay on time sometimes.
So what be the deal with that, then?
I don't know. Man's focused on magical research, don't have time for people like me without any talent for it.
So we've heard.
You heard any weird violin music or fiddle music? Well, I don't know the difference.
And now that you mention it, it was kind of filling the air a couple minutes ago, maybe around an hour or so back. He looks over, tries to pinpoint it, sees there's this trail of dragged blood that leads from the big old building next to him over across the bridge. Well, son of a bitch.
That don't look. Sir, I'm good at looking at this sort of thing. I was gonna say I follow people for a living, but that ain't strictly true.
You're
I
a
can find
trapper?
whoever's bleeding. Of a sort.
Right. Well, you'd probably be better at it than I am.
Fantastic. Ermir sort of steps forward and moves towards the blood trail and would like to see if she can follow where it's leading.
Cool. All
I
right.
kind of want to slowly climb on her back without her noticing and try to follow with her because this is interesting. I'm having a jolly time.
You will not be able to do that without her noticing, no matter how good a stealth roll you do.
Yeah, you are not. Even if you are the skinniest, most not thin man in the world, I should say thinnest, just not heavy person in the world, Snap, you have 2 loaded revolvers that will weigh you down.
You can't blame a guy for trying.
Y'all reckon y'all are gonna be safe over here?
Well, I was about to say, if this is looking the way I think it's looking, you might want to skedaddle.
Well, I mean, if there is a crime, running away from the scene of it ain't gonna do me much good.
We're deputies. If you get caught, we can... Well, deputies, I should say. Appointed deputies. If you start moving away from here and some other deputy decides to haul you in for the night, we'll come back and make sure that you don't get hanged. That's for sure.
Lurth looks over at the 4 of you, sees Snap. Right.
Darius notices this stare. Some of us more official than others.
Right, well, you'll forgive me if I don't exactly trust that's gonna happen.
Understandable.
Okay.
What do you mean?
He's talking about you, Gremlin.
Right.
The more you call me Gremlin, the more tempted I am to think about bad.
Besides, if something did happen, knowing where to find me so you could ask me any more questions probably gonna be more helpful to you than the other thing.
Point taken. And if Darius is to be believed, you're a resourceful man, so, you know what? Maybe you can help a lot.
Maybe.
And Amir steps towards where Lurth is and looks at the trail.
Alright. Looks like the trail goes in 2 different directions. One continues dragging east as it fades away. The other, thicker blood trail, goes across the bridge towards the estate proper.
Presumably where the thick blood is, we'll actually find where the attack happens, and where it starts to thin out, we'll find a body. Suppose it depends on whether or not we want to find what we want to find first. Scene of the crime, or, the corpse. Or a living person, hopefully.
Mm.
As long as we just get this job done and over with.
let's find the person, I think, first. Let's go east and see if we can find somebody who is alive and might pay us for saving their life. Let's do that. Yeah?
Fine by me.
All right. Let us start heading eastwards then and see what we can find.
All right. The trail curves off along the dirt path, heading south into a set of stables.
Oh, dear.
And it's also kind of gathered in a big old pool now, stopping right before it heads into the stables.
Does this look like a person's worth of blood or something else?
I'm not entirely sure how much blood a person can have, is the problem, says Lurth, looking over that way.
Does
Can
Amir? Can I roll something?
Make a medicine
Maybe
check.
nature? Medicine,
Can I
fair
also
enough.
roll a medicine check?
Sure. People have some amount of blood in them, you think?
Well, it's a lot of blood. Might be a person, might be an animal. Personally, I'm hoping for the latter. Let's
Me,
find
y'all
out, I
can't
suppose.
tell.
Neither of us can tell. Let's just... And Ermia realizes that taking the lead is not her strong suit and looks to Darius and goes, Darius, honey, you're big. You go ahead. I'll keep you covered from behind.
Well, that's not very nice.
It's not very nice, but it's what I'm good at, I'm afraid. Trust me. He's safer with me shooting from afar than he is shooting me up with me shooting up close.
Fair enough.
All right.
What made y'all chat? He's just sort of chat. Okay, I'm gonna be real with you. I'm just doing this to make the whole walking less awkward. What made y'all taking up trapping anyways?
Pardon me?
Oh wait, are we not walking together, or am I just going in myself? Or
Oh no,
I'm-
he's a...
No,
I just have to
Darius
make
is
myself
going
really
in with
quick.
Ermir standing back to make sure he doesn't get shot.
I see.
Yeah. So Ermir sort of pauses for a minute, thinking, and says, "Well, trapping. I can occasionally hunt animals. Yes, hunting animals is certainly what I get paid for most of the time. But sometimes people are a problem too. So I do a bit of both." Rapscallion bandits and rapscallion coyotes if the moment strikes. I got into it because I was good at it.
Nothing wrong with taking a job you're proficient in. I'll see another scarecrow, but
All
that's
right.
all about I find.
Darius, you step into the stables. Looks like you found a bunch of individual pens for animals. The doors on all of them have been kind of like yanked open, and there don't appear to be any animals in them anymore.
Something.
This doesn't
Do I hear
feel right.
Do I hear breathing at all?
Make a perception check.
Okie dokie. Perception.
Nope.
Can I try and make a perception?
Sure.
You're not over here, but
You know what?
He has big ears.
Big ear.
Big ear.
big energy.
Big ear energy.
All right. You take a listen in for the sounds of breathing, Snap, and you don't hear anything. But you do spot in a larger, basically food barn or security barn for when all the animals need to gather together, there is standing an old, raggedy-looking scarecrow with, black eyes and a stitched-together mouth.
My ears kind of droop a little bit, and I kind of step back slightly. The color of fear once again returning to my face.
You afraid of a little straw, gremlin?
He's afraid of living straw. Darius, that might be
Lurth
All right,
looks
listen
over
here,
and chuckles.
Bullbrain. From what we heard, apparently some of these scarecrows are supposed to be alive.
Or at the
Look,
very least, that
Basically
people
centuries, if you don't know what that is.
Even if that's true, can't be much of a...
Lurth looks
Yeah.
over and chuckles. Well, maybe those two by the bridge come to life. Don't know the specifics of the enchantment myself, but old Raggedy Tam, doubt it. He's a few years old by now. Got passed over in favor of the new brand.
Y'all
I
want to
think
take a look?
Yeah, I think I'm coming up with an understanding of what is exactly happening here. There were animals in this pen, correct, Lurth? There used to be, at least.
Lurth's eyes widen. He goes over to check. Son of a bitch.
Yeah, this is the first issue I'm thinking. I think somebody took and killed whatever was in there, and Ermir traces the blood trail with her eyes heading west now. Somebody's taken it inside the establishment, and well, you mentioned dark magic, Snap. I think we should check that out before something bad happens.
Is the calf still in Darius's sack?
If you wanted to drop the calf off, the deputy would sigh but say sure. Otherwise, yeah, the calf is still in your sack, flailing and going.
You know what? I think just for story purpose, it's funny. I think I'm gonna have it tag along.
Okay.
This wasn't the best idea. Shh, it's alright.
Well, what do we do from here? Bunch of dead animals, blood, living scarecrow.
Well, we do what any deputy does and ask politely what the hell's going on.
Okay. Then he starts to go into where the scarecrow is.
We're not asking. Oh dear.
Are y'all insane?
All right.
You're the one who said it was just a stupid scarecrow in the first place, Bullbrain.
I ain't gonna get the child killed.
What
Neither
child?
Do you-
Snap.
Do I not hear the saddle?
Yeah.
No, I just don't care.
You just, yeah, Snap just does not care and steps in
Okay.
to the feed barn, staring down Raggedy Tam.
What do I do? I want to roll insight.
Okay,
Actually, no. Can I roll Arcana to see if there's any magic going on?
sure.
Oh
Why
my
do you
god.
know this, Snap? Why do you know this?
What
Snap,
crowd did he used to run in?
for whatever reason, you detect the faint whiff of some kind of magic from somewhere to the north.
North?
Yep.
Is it coming from the scarecrow?
No.
Can I roll insight on the scarecrow?
Sure.
Alright, now you're just being stupid. Snap, what are you?
All right, Snap, you stare down the scarecrow, apparently named Raggedy Tam. That looks like a scarecrow to you, all right? You do
I
an
wanna
expert
investigate-
analysis of its posture and body language, and you detect that this is a scarecrow.
This is a scarecrow, alright. How are you, Raggedy Tammy? I grab his arm and wave him at me like, hello, Snap, how are ya?
Darius rolls his eyes and just walks out.
I want to investigate the hay that's behind him.
Okay, make an investigation check.
Yeah. Come on.
That looks like a lot of hay.
I just lay in it.
You done trying to interrogate a scarecrow, little man?
Yeah, I had my fun. Can I actually try and go down here?
Sure. Looks like a riding path used by animals when they need to be taken away from the estate.
Alright. Yeah, I'm done here. It's just a scarecrow, but I did smell magic coming from the north. And he points north.
You smelled magic?
I don't know. I don't know where this came from, but I just smell it, and I know it's magic.
You're right. Sure, we'll go with it. Fantastic. I'm 100% on board with this. Let's follow the path and ask about magic. And Ermir, a little exasperatedly, follows Darius to the west towards the path.
Can I roll Arcana on the other scarecrows?
Sure.
Yeah.
And what were
That's
you
acrobatics,
doing,
not
deputy?
Arcana.
You know, I was pretty goddamn drunk, because I'm not sure if Phil's recovered from my migraine yet.
Fair enough.
He's sicky.
Being a big sickie, it's sad.
Alright. You stare at the scarecrow. It's a scarecrow.
I want to push it into the water.
You try, and you hear the sound of someone's throat clearing across the way. Excuse me. Would you mind not vandalizing the estate?
He he snaps his arms back.
Thank you.
Very, very good.
Alright, roll for pun damage.
Okay.
Wow,
Darius,
6
big
whole
man.
blunt damage!
Wow! Ouchie!
Darius, my darling, can you please have a little chat with this man whilst I keep an eye on him, so to speak?
If y'all reckon. If y'all want
Come
it.
on, cowboy. Just do what the lady says.
Howdy there. Who might you be?
A pleasure to meet you, sir. My name is Angus Abbott. I'm from Kingsmarch. I was called for work here as Mr. Bailey's butler.
Butler, eh? Y'all
Indeed.
serving the boy, then.
Yes, he, well, you know mages and their type. They like to have all sorts of people around to do more mundane work. Mine is keeping the household intact, unfortunately. He looks behind him. Well, that's been rather difficult.
Darius takes just a slight peek over at the house.
You peer through the windows, Darius. Looks like there's been a big struggle. There's all sorts of furniture upturned, glass broken, stains of dirt and blood and footprints all around. A chair was thrown through one window.
Can I quickly try and peek under the bridge?
Sure, make a perception check.
Okie dokie loki pokey jokey.
Okay, you peek under the bridge, and you peer through the veil of time to see, oh, it looks like there's a body under there on the map, but there's not one in the actual game. I'm just too lazy and inept to be able to change that.
You're so valid. Alright. Amir, hear me out. So imagine that there's a body under the bridge, but in another world.
How much of that wine did you drink exactly?
It's not wine, it's whiskey, and I drank the entire bottle, and I'm not okay right now.
Angus raises his eyebrows. Oh, dear. If there's going to be a problem with alcohol, then perhaps you might not be up for investigating.
Oh, I am. I'm fine. Feel better.
Amir sort of steps over to Snap, smiling, and sort of puts a hand on his shoulder. Trust me, what's your name? Angus?
Angus
this
Abbott,
little man,
yes.
this little man, he's better when he's on the job and a little bit, keeps his nerves down on the down low. And Ermir squeezes...
I shake a lot.
Ermir squeezes Snap's shoulder and whispers, "Don't talk now, please."
And as you do, Ermir, you feel the urge to draw a card and make the situation even worse.
Oh, fuck. All right. Draw one card. Here we go. What'll it be? Will it be my destiny? Rainbows. Cool.
The winged serpent.
Oh my god, no.
I don't like it.
As if there's been enough damage caused to this estate.
In the distance, you hear the beating of wings and the cry out of some giant creature.
Can I just say something quickly before this happens?
Okay.
It's just like, With all due respect, it seems like a twister would hit this place. Y'all don't think this would get any worse, you think?
Motherfuckers. There it goes.
There it goes, and a great shadow falls across as a dragon flies overhead. And you hear Lurth saying, "Oh, son of a bitch!" grabbing a rifle and running after it, shooting.
See, this is exactly the kind of thing that happens. That out of character. I'm sorry, out of character.
Well, fantastic.
I have never seen a dragon before. You think I would have, but I've never seen one.
Well,
and I hate.
Angus clears his throat. Good on Mr. Flintcutter, I suppose, for being able to immediately chase and shoot that thing.
I get the impression that Mr. Flintcutter is good with his rifle and his wits, so doesn't surprise.
He's one of those.
Ermir, still hand on Snap's shoulder, sort of drags him a little bit to stand next to Darius, and
his neck is in his shoulders, and his eyes are wide, his ears are down, and he's just like.
So, Mr. Abbott, if I may ask, why exactly are you out this late at night, and the estate is in such a starry position?
I was,
As she asks that, she's like, I'd like to roll perception to see if I spot anything out of the ordinary apart from just the massive damage.
Okay. As you do so, Angus says, I was woken in the middle of the night by this loud clatter, and there was this strange, phantasmal music playing. I went to investigate, and I found Mr. Bailey, or rather, I found what was left of Mr. Bailey. It would seem someone attacked him in the middle of the night.
Oh. Are they, deep? Oh my.
You take a look around, getting more and more details of the big old clatter through the windows, Ermir. Yeah, it looks like this was a long, dragged-out encounter. Whoever was fighting in here did not go down quickly or peacefully.
Jeez. Angus, you just woke up and found all this?
That I did, ma'am. I haven't been able to get back to sleep since. I mean, after seeing the body, it's rather hard to sleep on that.
Mr. Abbott, I don't think a body is something that most people are privy to see, and it certainly ain't something that someone should regularly see, and I apologize for that. Have you seen anybody else apart from, well, that? Any living people?
Well, the only people who were on the estate, other than Mr. Bailey, would be myself, obviously. There would be Mr. Flintcutter. I did not keep the best tabs on him, but let us hope he knows what he's doing fighting a dragon. There was the personal assistant just come back from town. I'm not sure if he's still around, but there was that Kenku who raided the place last night. He might have come back and done something. And then he snapped his fingers in remembrance. Oh, wait. There was the sister. There was the sister from Old Rise who came here to visit.
Tell me about her.
Well, apparently she was a rather big fan of the master. Wanted to get a few favors from him. Unfortunately, Mr. Bailey is rather frugal when it comes to projects that are not about the advancements of technology.
So, what was his response to her, asking about something? Was he rude? Was he...
I was not privy to that conversation, ma'am, but given that she is still on the premises, I would imagine it must not have been too terrible.
We need to go investigate this body real quick, and I need you to stay outside and make sure if you spot anything, you run inside, tell us. If there's a suspect on the loose, you need to keep a close eye for them, please.
Of course.
Is there any sort of bell that you could ring to let us know?
It's It's a rather small estate, all things considered. I could probably yell very loudly.
Fair
You
enough.
know what? I think that's very fair.
Yeah. As for the body, you go inside, make a right turn, follow the corridor to the feast hall, and mind the smell. It's rather fresh.
Yum.
Ermir nods and sort of gestures for Darius to take the lead.
Can I hop on Darius's head and get in front of him?
Horns.
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 Handlebars!
All right.
I don't know if y'all heard the saying, little man. Y'all mess with the bull, you get the horns.
I don't know if you heard a saying that I've just made up right now. Keep talking like that. You'll get a barrel in your mouth and a bullet down your throat.
All right. You take a quick look into the study, Darius, but you think that's not what Mr. Abbott was talking about, so unless you want to further investigate there, you can keep on going.
I think Darius is going to take a look to the right and just check for anyone who might be there.
Oh, wait a
second.
second.
Dim light.
Also, dim light. As you do so, I realize what the dynamic lighting is. Angus looks over. My mistake. If you want to go to the feast hall, you actually go through the kitchen into the corridor and then go right and follow it down. And as he says this, as you're peering through the study, across the room, into what looks like a little watchtower with a knocked-over plant and a young woman with fiery red hair kind of huddled against the staircase, staring at her amulet.
I'm gonna climb through the window.
Please don't do that, sir.
Only for you, Angus.
What are y'all reckoning? You want to follow our take a look at the missus.
I'll take a look at the missus. You can keep on going.
I want to grab him by the scruff.
He has a smug look the entire time. He embraces death.
That question
Now.
was... Left or right? That's what I'm asking.
Left or right?
Okay, right.
I'm going right, and I jump out of his arm.
I guess since Snap's going right, Ermir decides to shrugs and starts going left. And before she enters the room, and she looks to Darius and goes, "Keep the little man in check, please. He's good in a fight, but not so good. Period. You know what I mean?"
I completely hear you.
All right.
You ain't gonna cause
I can
nothing
hear you
but
too.
trouble.
Yes, and I was counting on that. So maybe do some good behavior, and your status will raise in my eyes.
He looks at Amir and smiles innocently, and then turns around, looks at Darius, and has the most grumpy face.
Hello? Is anyone out there? You hear, /C, the young woman shout. Ermir, you go investigating. Through the door directly in front of you looks to be a kitchen. You appear to be in some sort of dining room. It is not in any state for dining right now.
I could figure that.
What is the expression on the sister's face?
She looks a bit startled. You don't think she can see in the dark because she's human. So as far as she knows, there's a bunch of strange voices talking about how they're going to investigate.
She probably won't really like seeing a goblin here, huh?
Scott is going to check his items, and oh, good, there's a torch.
I also have a torch. And a tinderbox.
Lights one of the torches.
All right.
Not a tinderbox.
Easy there. Nobody's gonna hurt you.
We're only here to help.
One of us is here to help.
The young woman looks over, sees the giant minotaur and the goblin with a bunch of guns saying no one here is going to hurt you, and just stares. Is this some sort of vision?
No.
Is this a fever dream of some kind?
No. I know what you may think. Giant, scary bull. Tiny, adorable, ugly gremlin. But we're honestly just here to help. Don't scream. Don't panic.
You're not.
That is the best.
He's not
way
good
to
at
make someone
this.
scream.
You're not helping.
You're
I figured.
really not helping.
You know what, big man? You do the talking. I'm just gonna... He jumps on the table and sits there politely, as polite as he can be without biting his nails.
Out of character? This is a bad idea, having me talking.
Oof! Ow!
You know what? You're playing the nice character who's like, I'm a home on the range sort of folk. You're the perfect man for the job.
Oh, God.
You can do it. I have faith.
You must be
Look,
the sister.
I get that you're not much of a ladies' man. If you want me to do the talking, I'll be happy to.
You will shut your face before I shut it for you. You must be the sister that Mr. Abbott was talking about.
Yes, that I am. My name is Sister Margaret. It's a pleasure to, I don't want to say meet you in case that's offensive because, you know, you're a giant cow.
No. It's,
I like this
it's
one.
absolutely fine. It's,
I'm sorry. I'm laughing and also Snap is laughing his ass off.
I figured
as
it's
silently
fine.
as he
Yeah.
could.
You wouldn't be able to. What would y'all be doing in this particular part of the house anyway?
Well, I came down here from Old Rise. It's a town a couple days' march away. Apparently they didn't like the kind of religion I was practicing and were sending hunting parties to make sure I stopped. So I figured Mr. Bailey, a big investor in the railroad, he'd be able to get me a ticket back east so that I could get somewhere safe.
With all due respect, ma'am, religion isn't really something that's practiced much around these parts.
So Mr. Bailey said in so many words.
And for the first time, well, really in this entire session, Dario's just slowly looks towards Snap with like gritted teeth and just like, what can you do?
Oh, JoJo's BRBing crumbs.
Fuck!
Oh, F! JoJo's BOB'd.
Because I get the feeling Darius is just making this more awkward.
Oh no, you're doing fine. I think out of character, Darius is probably like big guy.
Darius is doing good. It's just Sister Margaret who's the nervous
Yeah.
one.
Just remain calm and keep doing your thing.
If you're sure.
Yeah. If you're
remember.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Do y'all exactly remember what happened within the last few hours?
Yes, I sat down for dinner with Mr. Bailey. I told him about the problem and he, well, to put it honestly, he laughed. He said that there wouldn't be any sort of trains going out for Coalbank for a while, for what he said were obvious reasons. I'm not sure what he meant by that. And
Obvious reasons.
And then he said, if it's religious persecution, I came to the absolute wrong part of town. Started saying some rather unkind things about those who pledge devotion to gods.
Y'all remember what happened after that?
Well, eventually I did manage to get him to accept that I couldn't exactly stay out in the middle of nowhere for the night, so he let me stay the night here at the estate. So I got settled in. Then music started playing, and I've been in here ever since.
That's the same music that we heard earlier.
Really?
Some ethereal kind of, some ethereal fiddle of some sort, yes?
That would be the same music, yes?
Did you feel any weird when you heard it?
Well, I don't know a lot of people who would play the fiddle in the middle of the night, so yes, it was kind of a strange sensation.
Oh,
Oh, no.
fuck! There goes Scott.
It's cursed.
I can't believe this is a cursed stream.
Oh no.
Oh.
So as Darius obviously is freezing up, Snap is gonna walk beside him, go, pardon my big partner with a thick skull. He's not that very good at talking to ladies like yourself.
And you are?
More or less.
All right.
Don't worry. He takes his pistols and drops them on the ground
Okay.
and kicks them back to Darius. Hold them. So, what?
No, keep talking. He just has no idea why the fuck you actually trusted him with your weapons. Keep talking.
So let me ask you. Let me see if I got this clear. You believe in gods, and you came here because you had nowhere else to stay, and then you started hearing the magic fiddle,
That's correct.
right?
Yes, that's all correct. Yes.
All right. He kind of holds his chin in his hands for a second, thinks. And then he looks at your amulet. Looks at her amulet. Pardon my asking, but what's with that amulet? Family heirloom or something?
Oh, yes. It's no, actually, no is what I meant to say. It's a holy symbol.
What god do you worship?
They call her Saloon. She's a goddess of the moon and magic.
I see. Did anything happen to your amulet when the fiddle started playing?
Well, it started to glow, and then moon started shining rather bright. I assumed it was a blessing of my goddess.
Okay. Do you know exactly where the fiddle was coming from? Did you hear it all throughout the house, or did you hear it outside?
It seemed to be traveling all throughout the house, like someone was moving around with it.
I see. Do you know what happened here? Just this entire commotion? Did you see who was attacking the main guy?
Sister Margaret's eyes widen. He was attacked?
Yeah, that's why the house is in disarray.
Oh, Saloon, have mercy on his soul.
That might not have been the best thing to bring up, you idiot.
I mean, we need as much information as we can get. Shut it. Do you have any idea what happened or what could have happened?
No, I was in here the entire time.
I see. Do you need somewhere else to stay? Or would you rather stay in here to be safe?
I'd rather stay in here. I understand it gets rather dangerous on the trails at night.
That's fair. If you need anything, do not be afraid to shout, because we will be here immediately.
Much obliged.
Of course. Is there anything you could tell us about this house that we might need to know? Any rooms to avoid?
Well, I just got here this morning, so I wouldn't know anything about that.
Fair enough. Alright. Shout if you need anything.
I will,
She says. Meanwhile, it looks like Phil is fucking dead, so Darius, draw another card as you exit that interrogation.
Oh boy!
Also, as you do, I grab my pistols right back.
I know this card, but I don't remember what it does.
Alright.
The twin.
The twin! The twin duplicates something.
Oh. Hi.
Oh no!
Hi.
Does Snap notice it immediately?
Yes! There wasn't a scarecrow there
Teleports
before.
behind you. Nothing personnel, kid.
Personnel, kid.
He sees a shadow behind him and it lurks above him. He slowly turns toward it, and then just like, yeah, no thanks, I'm out. Hey, I'm gonna come over here with you, and then he just like clings onto her shin.
Ermir is perturbed and looks at Darius and goes, I told you to keep an eye on him, not put the fear of God into this one. What did you do?
Is that simple? I took a look at her. I took a look at him. Sorry, still have the sister on the brain. I took a look at him, and he went running. Well, that's half the story anyways.
I'm gonna be real honest, and, there's another scarecrow in here.
There's... He just
And your
keeps
face
walking.
doesn't scare me even if you looked at me the wrong way. If anything, I could look at you in the wrong way and you'd go running back to your cattle.
Oh, I know. I'm certainly sure
What?
that's... Snap, look at other scarecrow!
He kind of raises an eyebrow.
Please tell me he looks.
No, he doesn't.
It was worth a shot.
No. No, it wasn't. You just made yourself look like more of a buffoon than you already are.
To be fair, he wasn't the one that just ran into the room and clinked to my ankles. So,
Hey, listen! There was an actual scarecrow in there, and I don't know where it came from.
Gosh, shh.
Oh, you're telling me to shush when you're laughing like a cackling.
Darius, as you enter the corridor and follow this set of large footprints, you look out into this inner courtyard garden and see a large hobgoblin with hair parted over to one side, looking deeply into a well.
Do I also notice the fucking mouse that's there?
That
puddle-shaped mouse.
That appears to be a bucket. That's a bucket.
can presumably Ermir poke her head around as well?
Yes, you can.
Is there a door that leads outwards, or are these, like, windows?
Yeah.
Given that footprints go through them, I can assume that's a door.
Ermir sort of pokes her head back into the entryway and looks at Darius and Snap and says, "There's a hobgoblin outside, just sort of looking into a well. Game plan."
Game plan?
What do we do?
Push him into the well, obviously.
We ain't doing that.
How about this?
Alright. Does any of you know how to lasso?
Snap, understand that whilst it would be an amazing prospect to just lasso someone we don't know, it might be more of a better idea if you politely ask him what the hell he's doing out here.
What if he just suddenly attacks me like this one tried to do?
Then shoot him.
Shoot him? How are we gonna get any more valuable information? Alright, fine. So, he's just gonna start walking toward him.
You step through the door, and as you get into the courtyard, the hobgoblin snaps up, looks at you. Oi! What are you doing here?
Investigating? What are you doing here?
My fucking job.
And what's that?
Well, currently it's going to be clearing out this well and looking for any signs of how the fucking Kenku got in.
Kenku?
Yeah, there's
Is that what caused all this destruction around here?
I have got no idea, but it's my best guess. There's one.
You want help?
There's one particularly nasty bastard out there. Calls himself Coyote Yelp. Been trying to break in for the last several days. Best guess is he got a little more personal with the boss.
Do you want help?
Fine.
He kind of looks towards his companions and, puts two fingers in his mouth and whistles. It's fine, we're clear.
Fingers in his mouth.
Ermir pokes her head
I'm
around.
going to shoot you in the face in-game if you do not stop singing that right now. You will have the fear of God put into you.
Ermir pokes her head around, steps forward.
Don't worry, they're with me.
Yes, we certainly are. Howdy. I overheard that you worked here, sir?
That I am. Niles' personal assistant. Name's Mordog.
Out of character. Did the butler fellow mention this man?
He mentioned an assistant, yes.
So you'll be the assistant that the butler fella mentioned.
Yeah,
So-
that would
Is
be
there anything
Angus.
I can roll to see if he's lying?
Insight.
Okay. I just want to see. I have a bad feeling. No, never mind. Everything's fine.
You take a good look and rack your brain to see with all the information you have if this could be lying, and you realize we know his name and we know what he's doing. We don't know any of his body language. Oh, fuck, I got no clue!
All he sees is static.
So, presumably, Mordog, was it? You know about the murder that happened here last night. Or this night, in fact.
Tonight, yes. Yeah. Big damn ruckus. Obviously, Niles isn't getting up from that. And I'm out here trying to find a sumbitch who did it.
Alright, I have a plan. Is he in the whale?
That is my current method of investigation, yes.
Alright, who has rope?
I got rope.
Just hear me out. Hear me out. And Bullman, you're not doing anything, because I don't trust you one bit. Sorry, friend.
Right back at you, little gremlin.
Finger guns. Alright.
Let me think. So I think I have dark vision. Would I be able to look in this well and see to the bottom?
Yeah, you peer down the well, make a perception check.
This is what I'm good at.
You are very certain there is no one down there, and it doesn't look like there are like any tunnels or secret passages in there that could connect to the well.
Hate to break it to you, Mordog, and I'm sorry to interrupt you in your planning, Snap, but there ain't no one down there, and there ain't a secret passage.
Son of a bitch.
I know.
Can I try? Never mind. He already rolled best perception. Okay.
Mordog,
Wait, can I roll Arcana?
Okay, sure.
I have a sneak suspicion.
I don't know what
He
you have a
just
sneak
makes-
suspicion about because you don't smell anything down that well.
He just starts rolling in the ground.
he doesn't usually do this, and Amir grabs Snap by the tussle of his poncho and just sort of puts him on his feet. Mordog, I have to ask, can you show us the crime scene, so to speak?
Mordog sighs. Yeah, follow me. And, mind the smell. It's pretty fresh.
So we've heard.
Haha, I like what y'all did there. Oh, boy.
Is there any just a half-eaten chicken leg? And then he notices where it leads. Oh.
Oh, my.
Body's over there,
Oh, wow.
says Mordog, pointing in. Then he adjusts where he's pointing. And there. Then he adjusts where he's pointing. And there. And there.
Alex, would you be kind as to describe the smell for us?
Alright, so, as you step into the feast hall, you get a whiff of food that's been left out for way too long. Poured out ale. You get this sense of, like, every single foodstuff just thrown around and left to rot. And speaking of left to rot, there are body parts in here. There are body parts of animals. There are body parts of people. This is a goddamn mess!
Darius closes the sack for a moment. Just
a little bit.
don't look, little guy. Don't.
Does Ermir notice the giant hole in the back of the wall?
Yes, there has
over
been
there?
a giant hole blown in the back wall.
She heads over it and looks from side to side to see if there's anything she can spot.
Looks like there's a trail of footprints that leads off west around the walls of the estate to where the wall has been blown open.
Presumably, then Ermir can deduct that this is where people arrived, so to speak.
Mordog looks over. Yeah, there's also that. I don't know anyone around here who can throw a tree through a wall, so I'm going to assume that's magic.
Most likely, yes. And Hermir steps back into the dining hall, and I would like to roll something to see if I can track footprints or anything that may suggest where a killer might have gone.
Survival.
This is something Hermir actually knows about. Hooray.
Yay.
Yeah.
All right.
Ooh!
So there are two trails. The first is the blood trail that leads from the dining hall, and as you map it out, you realize, hey, that trail matches up with the footprint trail, because footprints came in here and then dragged something out, leaving the blood trail that led into the estate from the bridge. The footprints must have been where the killer came from.
Oh, this don't look good at all. I think we may need to investigate that barn again, because something dragged it from here. I was wrong about the animals inside the barn. Unless... Can I roll insight to see if there's anything amiss in the dining room, apart from the massive cacophony of just body parts?
Investigation.
Investigation. Yeah.
Investigation.
Yeah, no.
You really don't want to look at any of this for too long.
Can I
Yeah.
roll investigation?
Sure.
Yay! Come on, baby.
You also
Why does
don't want to
God-
look at any of this for too long. Look at all that wasted booze.
Why did God leave me unfinished?
Fuck it.
This...
Alright. What will a 14 net us?
14. You look around, and it looks like here is where a lot of the actual bloodshed happened. Like, there was a mess in the other chambers, but here, judging by the splatter and the scattered body parts and tables, is where the actual murder took place.
Are any of the candles lit, or is any of the candle lit at all?
No.
I want to take one of the candles.
Okay.
Yay, I have a candle now.
You have one candle.
Is all of the
Mordog
food
raises a
spoiled, just out of
finger,
curiosity?
puts it down. You know he's not gonna need it, so what the hell?
I'll replace it.
I dread to think with what. Hermir...
Right.
Okay. Hermir looks firmly away from Snap at that, and heads into this. I think she'd want to follow the blood trail and see if she notices any footprints or trails of blood that are leading anywhere that isn't to the barn.
Okay.
Just out of curiosity, is all of the food spoiled, or?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Can I try and look down this way?
Sure. You peer down that way, that is the corridor that Angus first told you to go down.
Aha. See, I think I found where we first started.
Sister Margaret sees Ermir come in and goes, "Ah!
Oh my goodness! Oh, don't worry.
Oh my god, it's a murderer! It's a murderer!
No, my name is Hermir, not murderer. Hi. First of
I
all,
run
I'm
in
not
and like pop behind her. Hey, she's with me. Don't worry.
Is there a cloth nearby?
There are all sorts of stained tablecloths.
Is there like a napkin or something? Or
None that are in any usable condition after this.
that's fine. I'll still take it.
You know, I was gonna give you a scenario, but I really want to say it
I
out loud.
promise
because
this
it's
will be of. I
hilarious.
promise this will be of good use. I promise.
What if you just used Snap's poncho?
You know what? I think I might do that.
You're the man, champ.
You're gonna love what this gets used for.
I'm debating about that. So Ermir nods to Sister Margaret and says, "I'm investigating too. Don't worry. We'll find out whoever did this, and you'll be okay." For now, I'd advise you actually before Ermir forgets, she heads back into the dining room and pokes her head around to see Mordog and say, Mr. Mordog, can you please keep Miss Margaret safe, please? It's a dark night, and it is also a place where a murderer might be, and you look like you can hold your own.
Yes, I also look like a hobgoblin is the thing, and I'm not sure that's going to be the most comforting.
She already met the goblin. I'm sure she'll be fine with a bigger one.
I fuck you!
Am I wrong?
Mordog holds up a hand and goes,
Listen, I appreciate that you're trying to make sure that she feels comfortable, but I feel she'll be less comfortable if a murderer comes and slices her throat. You agree?
And if it's just me coming, the person that she gave weird looks to, that's going to be better somehow.
It's going to be a lot better than an actual murderer, Murdog.
I don't think I'd be able to convince her of that.
Alex, what would I have to roll to see if she's faking it?
Make an insight check.
Oh. Can I get advantage, please?
Darius, are you going to give advantage?
Darius, please!
You know, if we were playing regular Fallen Empires, I totally would. But I'm in character.
Scott, I hate you and I hate your guts. You're not allowed to use my poncho anymore.
Let's see.
Ermir sort of brushes her hair out of her face and goes, all right, fine. At the very least, stay with the butler fella. Just don't be on your own, okay?
Right.
Can I roll Arcana on her?
Sure.
I'm just really suspicious of this lady.
She's got a pretty strong scent of magic about her.
Do I get any bad vibes from her?
That's an Arcana check. Your insight check failed.
Dang it!
Sister Margaret, you didn't happen to notice any, wildlife, like horses in the stables by the time you arrived?
Well, there were a couple of dogs that were walking the grounds. I didn't see any horses, though.
Okay. Have we seen any corpses of dogs nearby?
Yeah,
We did,
alive.
on the table.
On the table.
On the table, yeah.
Okay. Well, that's disgruntling. Guess we know where the animals ended up.
Amir, can I talk to you for a hot sec? Just real quickly.
You can talk to me for a cold sec, but don't know about a hot one. And Ermir enters this little room.
Okay. I kind of look and make sure that sister can't hear us. Does anything make you feel weird about sister? Do you feel... do you get a bad feeling from her?
Gotta admit, not usually the best judge of character. Don't usually pay attention, but Ermir pokes her head around the corner to see if she can get a read on Margaret.
Okay.
And would like to roll insight.
Insight check.
Yes!
All right. Sister Margaret is very nervous, very fidgety, stuttering a lot when answering questions. She's also looking at the overturned flower pot that is... Well, calling it a flower pot kind of isn't doing justice to how big that thing is at the base of the stairs. Or rather, where the top of the stairs would be, had it been on the ground floor and pushed over. She kind of glances over there occasionally.
Something bothering you.
No. Ermir,
He was talking to her.
I'm gonna slip by and I'm gonna go and check in this flower pot.
You heave the flower pot up, shake it around, you hear a prun, 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 rattle of something in there. Inside there's a fiddle.
I knew it!
Ermir,
I take it and I snap it in half.
Sister Margaret cries out in shock as you do that. What are you doing?
Ermir...
You who was playing the fiddle!
No, I swear. That's one of my personal possessions from back home. I heard the music and I heard it was fiddle playing and I thought everyone would think it was me because I happen to own a fiddle.
Can I roll Arcana on the fiddle?
Sure.
It's kind of broken now, but
That's a broken fiddle!
Of all the time, Snap, why must you fail me now?
Can Ermir roll insight to see if she's telling the truth about said fiddle?
Sure, with disadvantage,
You know
because
what?
Snap is working against you to rattle her.
actually, can he mitigate it if I offer advantage?
Okay.
Because now I'm starting to be suspicious.
Hey, no.
Well, it's hard to tell in the heat of the moment, because Snap is yelling, Sister Margaret's trying to explain stuff, and it's all very confusing.
Sister
What's
Margaret,
going on here?
I-
What are you planning?
I was trying to...
Snap.
I was trying to tell you, my God! Please stop shouting, please stop shouting, please stop shouting.
Snap. Ermir puts the hand on Snap's shoulder and looks at him and goes, "Shut up. Now."
He kind of recoils his neck back into his body.
I apologize for him, Sister Margaret. I'm sure this is a simple misunderstanding. I must ask, though, why did you think it would be a wise idea to dispose of that? I don't mean to question your judgment. I'm sure it was a very heat-of-the-moment thing. But surely if you were innocent, you would keep the fiddle and tell us, hey, this is, this is my fiddle, and I just had it. I don't think it spells good for you.
You think anyone would believe that?
I think I'd believe it more than you trying to dispose of evidence.
A bunch of very angry men with guns hear fiddle music, see someone with a fiddle, they would shoot first, ask questions later. I wanted to
And
save my
yet
damn
we
life.
haven't. Have you noticed that, miss?
None of us are folks that... Well, okay, most of us aren't people who would shoot first. I can assure you of that.
She looks over at Snap.
But I said
He
most
slowly
of us.
puts his guns away.
I said most of us for a reason. Because some people have itchy trigger fingers and very little sense. But I gotta know this, Margaret. Is there anything else you're not telling us? Anything else?
I've told you everything I know. I swear on Salut's name, I've told you everything I know.
Do I know anything about Saloon?
Make a religion check.
I swear.
If he rolls high on this, I'm gonna
Here comes
snap his snappy neck. Come on, baby.
There.
Fight!
Hey, we've broken the streak!
Hey!
Yay!
Your esoteric knowledge fails you, Snap.
He kind of like squints his eyes and slowly pulls his hand away from his guns because he doesn't know anything about Saloon.
That amulet that you have, Miss Margaret, what does it do?
It's her holy symbol. I can invoke a few small abilities through it. This one kind of invoked itself, giving moonlight over the whole of the estates.
I don't mean to be rude, miss, and I assure you that I'm not going to do anything out of the ordinary. Can I see it?
Sister Margaret's holding it close. Make a persuasion check.
Okay. Can't tell you this is going to go well. Hirk.
Sister Margaret is in such a state of shock, she just wants to hold on to anything she can, considering her other possession just got snapped in half in front of her.
All right, how about this instead?
Snapped.
You don't have to give it to me, but can you show me it? Can you hold on to it? And I'll keep my hands in my pockets. I think you'll be able to tell if I'm going to snatch this thing. And Ermir puts her hands in her pockets and sort of looks at Sister Margaret, like, sort of pleadingly, as if to say, show me, please.
Slowly but surely, she holds out the amulet with shaking hands.
I would like to roll... What would I roll to see if there's anything that could trigger this to just light on its own?
Religion
Arcana?
check.
Religion.
Oh no.
Darius, can you come help me with this and just lend your keen eye?
Can I also
Take a
help?
look. No.
No!
No.
Well, at least with Darius's help, this will happen.
Oh.
Will it
We are
though?
a couple of No.
It would have helped if I was there.
I love these rolls.
They're
I
so
gotta
great.
ask, Margaret, does this thing ever go off on its own?
No, never.
Peculiar. Alright. Well, Ermir sort of... Margaret, what kind of magic can you do, exactly, with this thing?
Mostly healing, divination, that sort of thing.
Divination, you say?
Not anything particularly special, but yes.
Well, Well, give us the baseline. What can you do?
If I am familiar with an object, I could find that if it's within a few miles.
Is there... Ermir has a thought and heads down to where... actually looks at Sister Margaret and... firstly, looks at Sister Margaret and says... Was there any item of clothing, any sigil or any sign, anything that our deceased friend over there had that was on his possession at all times that you can remember?
I've only heard of him before today. I just met him today. I wouldn't know what to look for.
Dang. Well, that kind of shoots that plan out the water.
Audio.
Was just thinking,
Scarecrows
mate.
scare you?
Say again?
Do scarecrows scare her?
You've never taken
Margaret
her to see a
or
scarecrow.
Amir?
Huh?
You have
I'm
never...
gonna hop down, and I'm gonna grab the scarecrow, and I'm gonna bring it to her.
Make a strength check to try.
Is it stuck in the ground?
Mm-hmm. That's strength save.
Would have been
Darn
good.
it!
Would have been bad.
You're just yanking on the scarecrow.
At this point, Dario tries to pick up the scarecrow as well, with Snap still on it.
Okay. Strength check.
Can you help me?
Strength check. You just strength?
Just strength.
Yeah.
It's not planted very firmly in the ground, considering it's not soil, so you managed to hoist it up with some difficulty because Snap is still on it.
Come
How
on,
did you do
little
that?
boy. Come on. Just ignoring his words.
Slowly but
I've
surely
gotta
you
show it
drag
to
the
Margaret.
scarecrow inside. Margaret stares. You'll have to forgive me. I'm not very familiar with Coalbank's good cop, bad cop routine. Is this the bad cop part?
No, but it did just give me a very good idea. Margaret, you've seen a lot of these scarecrows coming into the estate, haven't you?
Margaret stares and blinks. No, why would you assume that?
Ermir blinks. Well, because, this is confusing. So, you've never seen a scarecrow like this before on the property?
I've seen them on the property, but you asked if I saw them coming into the estate, and I didn't.
Oh, sorry. No, I didn't mean like that. Just, have you seen one of these scarecrows before on the property?
Kind of hard to miss them, yes. They're, right beside the bridge out.
Would you say you're familiar with them?
No, because, again, I just got here this morning.
Shit. Well, that kind of blew that plan out of the water.
Y'all don't think she's telling the truth, do you?
I have no evidence to suggest that she ain't. All I know is this. Ermir looks at Sister Margaret. I advise you stand outside with our dear butler friend, Angus. And honestly, I think it might be an idea to recheck that barn. I don't see any way that we can find anything else in this building. Y'all agree?
Unless we thoroughly search the building. I don't think we got any other choice.
I'm pretty sure we've already searched this building pretty thoroughly.
Is there an upstairs?
There is not an upstairs.
Sorry if you answered that earlier.
I did not. It's just for the sake of making this a one-shot. There is no upstairs.
Fair enough.
Well, there's also the opportunity that we could possibly look in where the intruders came in. We haven't checked that yet.
Have we really questioned everyone, though?
You have a point. I am going to go over to the... Which one was the butler? Angus? Or...
Angus, yes.
I'm going to go outside and have a word with our friend Angus.
You step outside.
I'm going out there as well.
Angus turns and is like, "Oh, hello. Was your investigation fruitful?"
Not really.
Oh.
Doofus, he said not to go through the windows!
Oh my god. Well, now there's glass everywhere.
That's me. My bad.
Zip.
Just,
I'll
yeah.
just...
Yeah,
okay, that's just
sorry.
spiteful. That is just spiteful, is what it is.
I'm sorry.
Go through both windows just to be sure.
Are you taking
He said
Sister
not to go through
Margaret?
the window! Breaks both windows.
Are you taking Sister Margaret with you?
Yes.
I think so.
You know anything about this amulet around her neck?
Looks to be some kind of holy symbol. Not too familiar with gods, Coalbank being what it is.
What do you know about the goddess Saloon?
Saloon? Name doesn't ring a bell. Could be part of some esoteric cult.
Mesoteric.
Esoteric.
Can you
Did you
dumb
say-
that word down for me?
Did you,
Obscure?
Uh-huh.
you would describe, Margaret, you describe your belief system as a religion, right?
Yes, I did, said Sister Margaret, looking very nervous.
Abbott, what was the word you used to describe it again?
Esoteric?
No, the first word. The second word, actually.
Cult, I believe.
Now, I've heard that word before,
Interesting.
Snap. That's what's bugging me here. You see,
Snap is biting his lip and smiling like the happiest little shit ever.
when
But
we
Darius plays dumb intentionally. Tell us, Sir Mir. How would you know that?
Well, when we were coming into this building, the reason that we came here in the first place was because some music was playing, some weird, eerie tune.
I recognize the tune from a
You
cult.
recognize-
And,
Yeah.
and that tune normally means bad business. And as he said bad business, he turns his head toward Margaret.
Margaret.
Everyone's eyes
You
on
go
Margaret. She's looking between everyone in fear, not really sure where to look.
Margaret, you are currently the only person on the premises who we have seen who is in any way affiliated with something like that. It just don't add up right now, Margaret. The person was playing a fiddle. They were playing some music that came from a cult. You are coming from an esoteric one.
And you had a fiddle.
I mentioned that.
I
I knew that.
Margaret,
Big up, Margaret.
at the very least, I think it might be a wise idea for you to come in to the station for questioning further.
I don't know what to tell you. I came here to avoid being persecuted for what I believe in. Angus just looks over. I can't believe it. I let a murderer into my master's estate. I'll never forgive myself for this.
Wait,
Hold up.
hold on, wait. What about the hobgoblin?
The hobgoblin, Angus. Who is the hobgoblin worker here? What's his name again?
Oh, you're talking about Mordok?
Yeah.
Worked as Mr. Bailey's personal assistant in exchange for tutelage in the magical arts.
Margaret, what does your religion practice? This is an important question.
Well, It practices reverence of the goddess of moonlight.
And what does that involve? What does that
Worship, prayer, a lot of dancing in the moonlight usually.
any music?
Obviously you're going to need music or you end up dancing out of coordination and it looks rather stupid.
Are you the only person in town who practices?
Sister Margaret stutters. Angus is like, there's an old saying, gods don't come to Coalbank. I would wager, just by visiting here, she's been the first active practitioner of any sort of religion, or cult as it is, for several years.
What other races worship the same god you do?
I haven't met any hobgoblin worshippers, if that's what you're implying.
Tell me something. Would there be any insignias, sigils, tattoos of any sort to symbolize a member of a cult like that?
She looks down at her amulet.
Did we see any jewelry on the hobgoblin?
You did not. The parted hair was the most notable trait of his.
And what about Angus?
You look over at Angus, you do not notice any sort of symbol that matches her amulet.
I have a question. Margaret, do you understand how magic works in a decent capacity? Because we sure don't.
No, she says, having rolled a 2 on her Arcana check.
Gee. This is such a pickle. I don't think there's sufficient evidence to suggest that you did anything, Margaret. I don't think you have the magical capacity to throw a tree through a wall to get into the building. As a matter of fact, can I look at the footprints again?
Yep.
And see what size of foot they are?
I want to help.
They appear to be rather large.
As a matter of fact, I don't think you have even the slightest bit the size of these feet here, Margaret. And Amir points to the feet. And would I be able to roll survival to determine what they are? Feet, what tracks they belong to?
Yes. Make a survival check.
Can I help?
Are you going to accept Snap's help?
Of course.
Cool. Survival with advantage.
As worth as I think it is.
Okay. These are rather large feet. In fact, with your knowledge of tracking people by their footprints, Ermir, you can see these are not natural. It looks like some sort of enchantment to mask footprints by just having them look like giant bare feet, rather than whatever shoes or boots someone happens to be wearing.
Clever. Oh. Well, interesting. Margaret, do you know anything about, well, I'm a person who knows how to track things. Do you know anything about, hiding yourself? Anything like that?
That's the dumbest question I've ever heard.
You remember Sister Margaret trying to hide that fiddle as you ask, do you know anything about hiding yourself?
Wait a minute.
Evidently not a lot, says Sister Margaret, looking down at the ground.
Would I be able to roll on site just to make sure that
Yes.
she is being genuine?
Can I help again?
And bada bing.
She sounds pretty defeated right now. Like, all the evidence looks like it's against her, plus people not liking religion in general. She figures, shit. And she's not feeling so hot right now.
Do I notice any seams, any spots on her face that could indicate that she's wearing makeup or a wig or something?
That is a very
Any
odd
sort of-
question. No.
Dang it. Okay, I thought she was wearing a disguise.
What I mean to say is that, Miss Margaret, this looks like this was, well, whoever came in here wanted to mask themselves well. And to be perfectly frank, I don't mean to be rude, but that's not something you're partial to. And this, Ermir points to the footprints, this is magic. Somebody did some magical hokery-pokery to make their feet look different, and that's not something I think you could do, Margaret. I don't think you did it at the moment.
Then, Angus looks up. Well, then, if not Sister Margaret, who do you think would have done it?
There's
Darius,
something
you
I
look
really-
like you're opening your mouth, and I'm not liking it. What do you want to say?
Scott is opening up his mouth and really wants to say something, but I know I shouldn't because it would be getting fucking meta.
Do it! Say it! We need all the help we can get!
How
right
well
now.
would Darius... You know what? Fuck it. How well would Darius know generic narrative tropes?
He knows enough to know it's time to draw a card! Let's see if that chaos can
boy.
solve this.
wait,
Well, I
you drew
guess
a card
since I
last
drew
time.
Phil's card, I have to draw my own now, so...
Yep.
I don't remember this one.
Oh, I do.
The Vision.
Oh, this is gonna be so good!
Oh my god! Oh my god! So, you ask a question and get the answer of wheel for yes, or you'll get a positive result, or whoa for no, or you'll get a negative result. Like, as an example, is it a good idea to arrest Sister Margaret? If it is, then you would get wheel if the answer is yes, or whoa if it's not. So, meta all aside, fuck it! The Vision strikes you! What is your question?
Okay, I'm gonna make this vague enough, yet at the same time not.
That's
Is
the best
the-
kind.
Is the murderer somewhere within the neck, within a third diameter?
Wheel.
I fucking knew it! I fucking knew it!
What is it?
Call it a hunch, call it suspicion, but there's something that's been mind that's rather odd about Mr. Abbott here,
Really?
What?
and I can't tell you why. I don't know. But something tells me that you are the person we've been looking for.
Now, why would you think something like that? Asks Angus.
Well, I may not look it, but I've read a few books in my time. Had to pass the time when I was getting on the way to Damascus, and I've noticed a few trends when reading particular mystery novels. Have you ever heard the trope, the butler did it?
I fucking hate you so much.
And that's
right
your
now.
evidence? The fact that I am a butler somehow means I'm a murderer?
Well, pardon me, Darius.
Can
Ermir.
I roll insight on Angus Abbott? Abbott.
Make an
Angus
insight check.
Can I get advantage from somebody, please?
Please, yes, take it.
Thank you. Oh, honey, please. Please. Yes!
Angus seems very, very offended at the suggestion, but it's more like he's trying to point out that it's a ridiculous suggestion than defend himself.
Angus, I hate to be the one that did this, but I just had a thought. You're right. You just said it yourself. You don't know much about gods and things like that, would you?
That is correct, I don't.
I'm just kind of curious. The word, usually, how would you usually describe a person who believes something? I want to know that. What would you describe it as?
believer would be the obvious definition.
Indeed, that's a good point. I gotta ask though, why the heck did you describe Sister Margaret's, beliefs as a cult? That's very odd language, Angus. Very specific language.
What would you call someone who came to Coalbank preaching of religion? Gods don't come to Coalbank.
No, that's true. Gods don't necessarily come to Coalbank, but codes do, beliefs do, and Margaret has one. I think it's a little unusual that you immediately not only told us that Margaret probably worships some esoteric cult, but then as soon as we start thinking that it's her, you immediately go and say, yep, she did it. That's her.
Now tell me, Mr. Abbott.
You said, I can't believe I let a murderer into my house.
Now tell me, Mr. Abbott, if that don't make you a murderer, then what does?
Mr.
Cast aside suspicion like that.
Abbott looks between all of you, smiles. Well, there's one thing you're completely forgetting. We always come in twos.
He pulls it! Snap pulls it! Oh no! Oh no!
Snap! You feel something very sharp enter your rib cage.
His mind goes blank. I knew it was him.
Alright, I'm going to need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Fuck.
Is Snap gonna die?
Nope!
Alright, you manage to shrug off the poison of the blow, but a claw sticks through your chest, and you turn around, and standing behind you is Raggedy Tam. You have taken 28 piercing damage.
Mother of Christ.
You're not dead.
I want to take out both of my pistols and shoot the ever-loving fuck out of this piece of garbage as much as I can.
Well, we kind of have to roll initiative first.
You kinda do.
I want to hear this music because it sounds kick-ass.
Baby.
Oh, baby.
What is the music?
It is from Wild Arms 5.
I'm putting on.
Jojo, please let me have Snap's poncho. This will be worth it, I promise.
Alright, fine. Take it.
Alright, Ermir!
Ermir, as soon as the scarecrow pops up and stabs Snap, she pulls out her rifle and point blank tries to shoot Mr. Man in the chest.
Make an attack with disadvantage because you're at close range.
Ah, fuck, great.
Oh, please don't shoot my ear off.
You know what? Fair enough. I'll go with it. I think this would be her reaction. Just immediate gut panic, just like, okay, bang. Here we go. Attack roll. Hiya.
Alright. That is a miss. Also, for the audience, when it says bonus action to reload, that is me not understanding the loading property, so ignore that. It's just you make one shot per round.
Alright. Fantastic. Oh, God. You know what I should have done? I should have aimed first.
Oh.
Would have been able to do that with just regular. Okay.
Can I shoot him now?
Go for it.
Yeah.
I take one of my pistols and shoot him.
Alright, that's a hit.
Come on!
Alright.
Can I take a bonus action to shoot him again?
Yes, you can, because you're a desperado. That is one of your abilities. That's also a hit. Cool. Alright. You rapidly pull out your pistols and fire. Wait, hold on. You would be at disadvantage, so just roll twice again.
Oh, man. Can I just roll 2 d20s?
Yes.
Okay. Curses.
Alright. Those would hit anyway, so I'll keep the full damage that you did. Yay!
Yeah!
In blind panic, you draw your pistols and fire at the scarecrow in front of you. Darius!
Okay, so if I... first of all, can I see... Or am I not in range?
You can see Raggedy Tam just fine. Whether or not you want to fire at him from here is up to you.
Okay, first things first, I'm gonna disengage to go a single space yeet.
Cool.
So, you know what the nice thing about scarecrows are? I'm gonna take the bottle that I got from the train. I'm gonna stuff the poncho into the bottle.
Oh, you motherfucker.
I'm gonna light me a firebomb.
No, you're not. Disengaging was your action.
Oh, man.
You know what? Fuck it, I'll risk it. I'll risk a regular movement. I'll risk the attack of opportunity.
Alright. You step aside as Darius pulls out a short sword. And misses you as you step out of the way.
Haha! Alright, how do I do this? Do I just
Make a strength check.
Just do it.
strength check? You got it.
So Sister Margaret is standing in the way and trying to duck out of the way. And then your Molotov cocktail explodes against her. Sister Margaret's now on fire.
Fuck! I did not think this through.
Is Snap still on the guy's hand?
Yes.
Ah, frick.
Yeah. Sister Margaret screams and drops to the ground as Raggedy Tam pulls back and goes for another set of claw attacks.
Should I try to dodge?
No, you can't. It has never worked like that, Jojo.
No, I think it'd be nice to me.
He rolled a natural 20.
You've
I thought
gotta...
he would be nice to me, but that didn't happen.
All right.
How
So,
much damage?
so with that first attack, that is 9 damage, and make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, but
All right, that succeeds. But he's going to claw at you again.
Oh fuck.
That fell off the table.
y'all
That-
hear sickening crunches and screaming goblin noises.
That is also a hit.
Oh,
I'm dead.
fuck.
Doesn't matter how much damage he deals, you are down to 0 hit points, and you take 2 failed death saves as poison racks
Oh,
through your
fuck.
body. And then
Oh fuck!
Raggedy Tam
Oh my God.
Turns to the wall and starts clambering up it, going onto the roof.
I'm fucking dead? Someone,
You are at 2 failed death saves, and then it's Angus's turn.
oh, Angus, please don't do this. Please, man. I know I did bad in my life, but you know, I can redeem myself.
You can't talk, you're dead. Or unconscious.
Alright.
I can redeem myself after someone
Uh,
fucking heals me.
Angus pulls out a fiddle and strikes a discordant note. Darius and Ermir, I'm going to need you to make Constitution saving throws.
Oh boy. My favorite. Oh.
Oh, you guys are amazing.
Alright. Darius, you're fine. I believe that is a failure for Ermir.
Oh no.
A discordant note plays and a wave of thunder erupts from Angus, with a big old whoosh. So, Darius, you take 4 thunder damage.
Alright.
Ermir, you take 9 thunder damage and are pushed away. into the water. Sister Margaret takes some damage too.
Fuck.
And snap! You're
No!
dead.
No!
No! Fuck!
Alright, I don't know why there's a 3 on Sister Margaret, but the damage is enough to just blow Snap against the wall, snap every bone in his body, and send his body down with the thump.
Oh, can we legit have, like, just 10 seconds of silence here? Because I actually feel bad now.
Okay.
Just a moment of silence.
Oh my god!
Silence!
Oh, snap! Oh my god.
Okay.
Alright. And that done with, Angus is going to laugh, back off. So much for the investigators of Coalbank, eh? Ermir, you're in the water.
Ermir?
Oh
Wallace?
shit! Ermir's BRB'd!
1 second. Hello, I'm alive.
Oh, good!
Snap is
Oh, thank
dead!
God.
I heard that. I am very upset. I am so upset about that. I didn't realize. Oh my gosh, that's awful. Right. How difficult would it be to move in this terrain?
It is difficult terrain, so it costs double movement squares to move through it.
Alright, well, I can use a bonus action to, well, actually, no, screw that. I'm going to move 20 feet forward. I think I have, like, 40 movement speed? No, 35.
Why does all of our character deaths happen in one-shot campaigns?
Well,
That
because
works.
then it doesn't matter.
Ermir, 1 second. Ermir, takes aim at Angus as he's fleeing, and
Cool.
would like to try and fire at him from the water. This wouldn't be a sneak attack; it'd just be a regular attack. But I would.
Well,
like
you've
to
got
aim for the head.
advantage because you're aiming, so it will be sneak attack.
Yeah,
if it
I'm
hits.
aiming at this guy's head.
Nice!
Get screwed.
Nice!
Oh, that's nice. And here we go.
Okay, that's incredible.
Wow.
Sneak attack too.
Oh, does that happen? Cool. Is
Yeah.
that how much is that? Is it
3d6.
3d6? Oh,
Holy fuck. Talk about
Vengeance.
revenge.
You know what? I'm going to say that's close enough to his max HP.
Oh my god.
I think it is. His max HP is 44, so what's 26 plus 18?
26,
Uh,
36, 37, 38, 39, 44, 53, 44.
Yeah, that's exactly enough to strike Angus in the head and kill him dead.
You killed him dead!
We're still not done yet, though.
Ermir yells to Darius and says, "Pick up the girl, get the goblin, run."
All right, I need to roll for how on fire she is.
Yeah.
Okay. Sister Margaret's looking real bad.
Good!
I'm going to pick her up and throw her into the water.
No, are you crazy?
Make an athletics check.
Literally the only thing I could think of as well.
Honestly, though. Athletics or strength? What?
Athletics.
Okay.
All right. You
Sorry
yeet
about this,
Sister
ma'am.
Margaret into the water, and she lands with a sploosh and a thud.
Oh.
She was not prepared to hold her breath.
Oh no!
You don't see her come out.
Oh. No.
Killed her.
No.
You could not have predicted that, Scott, don't worry.
You're so valid, man. It's okay. It's okay. It's alright.
It's okay.
Okay. She failed her check. I don't know what to tell you. The dice gods doomed her.
She doesn't get death saving throws or anything like that.
Don't we get death saving throws?
Not NPCs.
Oof. Well then, what happens next?
All right. Is that the end of your turn, Darius?
I don't have any more comments.
All right. You hear a spring and a whoosh as Raggedy Tam goes flying through the air and leaps atop Ermir, going to stab her.
Is that really necessary, sir?
That's a hit. Cool. Double checking the damage. Alright, so you take 9 piercing damage, and I'm going to need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Alright, 1 second. 9 piercing damage and saving throw. 9 here. 9 here. Constitution saving throw. Yeah.
Yep. Alright, that's with advantage,
Okay,
but that's
advantage.
enough. And he's going to claw at you again. That is also a hit.
Come on now.
For 11 piercing damage and another saving throw.
Would I be able to use Uncanny Dodge for this?
Sure,
forgot I had
yeah.
this.
So that's
That'd
just
be
5 piercing damage and make another saving throw.
Okay. Right. Constitution, here we go.
Nice! You are doing incredibly well against not being poisoned as Raggedy Tam just claws and claws and claws at you. Oh, wait a second.
Oh no.
I forgot. Raggedy Tam has sneak attack.
Ew!
8 points of sneak attack damage!
I'm alive.
Kill him! Kill him dead!
Kill him.
Ermir!
Now. Ermir would like to take a bonus action to disengage, and I suppose she would be like, she'd only be able to get 15 foot out of the water at that point to move.
Yeah.
And would like to just regular shoot because I can't really aim right now. I'm just going to shoot Raggedy Tam in the spine, in the wooden
In his
spine
scarecrow
like that.
spine.
Yes. Bang.
That is a miss. It shoots right through his sleeve, like under where his arm would be, going phew, as he just stands there smirking at you.
Ermir yells to Darius in sort of panic and says, just like, snap him.
Darius.
Kill him dead! Do it! Get his ass!
You fly into a rage at the depths of so many and prepare to attack the scarecrow.
Oof.
That's a hit!
Get him good.
Nice. Alright. You also get +2 to damage because you're raging as you just jam your blunderbuss in Raggedy Tam's face and fire. A loud boom strikes and you pull away, and Raggedy Tam looks a little charred, but still standing. As he looks over at you, looks over at the broken and bloodied Ermir. He's gonna take an attack of opportunity.
How? How is he? I am curious about that. How would he do that? Because he's like,
He's running at you and he didn't disengage, so that's another shot.
I see.
Unfortunately, it missed.
this is gonna suck for Ermir.
Alright. That's that.
Literally
Plus
anything will
that. That is a hit.
So I'm down, baby. Yeah.
Yeah, you're down. You cannot resist the poison damage. And as you fall, Raggedy Tam just jams his claws into your face, rips it off.
Oh
Ermir
my god.
is dead.
As it happens, dang.
Alright. And Darius, as you rage, you cross over the bridge and you see. Wait. Why are there two bodies in there? Oh shit. Looks like someone disposed of Tarkin while he was down there.
That is. Oof.
Yeah, you throw the dynamite at Raggedy Tam. And because it's a natural 20, it immediately explodes against him for a shit ton of damage. Raggedy Tam just turns and starts clapping. And you hear a chuckle on the air. Now. There's no need to be such a bad sport about it. Game's over. Murderers equal or outnumber the innocents. And I must say, it got really interesting at the end there.
What have you done?
What have I done? Oh, I've done nothing. I just hosted a little game.
What did you do?
It's one I've done time and time again. 2 wolves among the sheep. We'll see if they manage to kill everyone before they get found out. And, well, technically they did. But, well, I couldn't just have it end that anticlimactically.
I'm mad. Y'all are fucking mad!
I'm mad, says the barbarian, raging and throwing dynamite everywhere. I'm the mad one.
I've had enough of your shit!
If you're not going to
Y'all
behave...
killed my allies, and I ain't gonna have this. Why? That's all I want to know. Why?
I was bored. Does that satisfy your little question, little man?
Y'all did this for sport.
Well, yeah. It gets a lot of people interested. You wouldn't believe how many there are out there, just waiting with bated breath, waiting for the next time someone decides to pick up a knife and thrust it in for the glory of the Black Stars. Like good old Raggedy Tam here. Couldn't hear any complaints from him, now could I? And Raggedy Tam just bows. I have to say, I thought you had him right away, but no. Who would ever suspect the Scarecrow?
I don't even know what to say at this point.
Well, that's fine. You don't need to say anything. Because what you say doesn't matter anymore. This game is over. Goodbye.
Y'all are right about that.
And she snaps her fingers, and the world around you instantly blacks out.